Hi students, welcome to our today's class. Today's class will focus on a topic to do with volume. But first thing, we need to understand the meaning of this word or term volume. Volume is actually the amount of space. It is the amount of space occupied by a solid. The amount of space that is occupied by a solid is what we refer as the volume. So when we shall be talking about the volume of a solid, it is in simple terms the amount of space that particular solid occupies. Volume is normally given by the following units. You can find it is given in meter cubed, centimeters cubed, or millimeters cubed. That is to say, volume will always be expressed in units cubed. Anytime you are asked about a question to do with volume, your answer should be in units cubed, meaning that it can be meter cubed if the dimension of that solid were in meters. It can be in centimeters cubed if the dimensions were in centimeters, or millimeters cubed if it was expressed in millimeters. Having known that, then we need to understand how do we do the conversion. Maybe the solid was having the dimension in centimeter, but you are told you convert your answer into meters cubed. You need to understand that 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeter. Because we need this one to be meter cubed, because we need the answer to be in meter cubed, then we know meter cubed, it simply means 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, which will be equivalent to 100 centimeter times 100 times 100. So you will be able to realize that 1 meter cubed, which is the same as meter times meter times meter is the same as meter cubed, is the same as 100 times 100 times 100, which is the same as a million centimeters cubed. So you can be able to use this conversion rate for you to be able to convert your answer in meter cubed. If you are given the answer in centimeter and you are told you convert it into millimeter, then you need to understand that 1 centimeters cubed is equivalent to 1,000 millimeter cubed. So this is the conversion rate. This is the conversion rate which we need to use in converting 1 unit of volume to another unit. Having now known that, we can go and discuss about how do we calculate the volume of different solids. And to start with, we shall have the volume of a cube, a solid we call a cube. A cube, it is a solid that has got 6 faces, whereby all the faces are equal and they are in square, or they are square. So it is actually a shape that is going to be of this nature. All these faces, the 6 of them are equal because the edges are having a square shape. And the square we know is actually a figure that has got all its sides being equal. So in getting the volume of any cube, because the length here is the same as this one, it is the same as this one, you will find that the volume is given by length times length times length, which is actually the same as length cubed. In other books, they will tell you it's given by base area times height. But because the base is actually a square, the area of a square we know is length times length, then we multiply by height, which is having the same length as the base dimension, which is the same as actually r. We find that is going to give you r cubed. So if, for example, you are told that a cube has one of its side as 5 centimeter, and then you are asked find the volume. Find the volume. You need to come here and understand that the volume is going to be given by 5 cubed. So you do your 5 cubed, and then you get your answer. So this is the same as the volume is equals to length times length times length, whereby we are given the length is this, which is the same as 5 times 5 times 5, which will actually be 125, which will be equal to the 125. And remember to put the units, which is now meters or centimeters cubed. You can be told that the area, this is another example, the area of a cube is 34 meters squared. Find its volume. Then you need to understand that the area of this one is supposed to be the area of a face of a cube is 34 centimeters squared. Then you are told you find the volume. So you need to understand that the face, it is one side of that cube. It is one side of that cube. And in that case, the area is given by length times length. So come here and say length times length should give us 34, which is the area, because we are told that face has got the area of that 4. So this is the same as L squared is equal to 34. So L will be equal to the square root of 34, which will be equal to what? The square root of the root of 34 is actually 5.83. So it's 5.83. That is actually your L. Then we can come here and say, if L is equals to 5.83, and we know the volume is the same as L times L times L, therefore V will be equal to 5.83 times 5.83 times 5.83, which will find it to be 198.25 meters cubed, because this one was in meters. So that is how we get the volume of a cube. Another solid that we are going to discuss, it is what we refer as the cuboid. The cuboid, it has also 6 sides, but those 6 faces are not equal, but those faces which are opposite of one another, they are actually equal. So it is a cube that, or a solid that has got this shape. Like that. That is a cuboid. This side, this face here, it is the same as the face that is on the other side. This face that is here, it is the same as this face that is on the other side. And the top is the same as the bottom. So they are actually, the faces are rectangular in shape. The faces are rectangular in shape. The volume of this particular kind of a solid is given by the length times the width times the height. The length times the width times the height. In other books, you'll find it saying that the volume is the same as the base area times height. But now note, the length times the width is actually the area of one particular rectangle. So you get the base area and then you multiply by the height, and you are able to get the volume of that particular solid. So we can have an example here whereby you are told, calculate the volume of this particular solid. calculate the volume of this particular solid. Maybe you are given here it is 12 centimeters. This is maybe 8 centimeters, and maybe this one is 15 centimeters. You are told you calculate the volume of that particular solid. From the look of things, this is actually a cuboid. A cuboid, therefore, we multiply the length times the width times the height of that particular cuboid. So the volume, in short, will be equal to 15 times 12 times 8. If you do so, 15 times 8 is equals to 1440. 1440 centimeters cubed will be the volume of that. So basically, that is how we compute the volume of a cuboid. The last solid that we are going to talk about its volume is a solid that is referred to as a cylinder. A cylinder, it is a solid that has got a circular top and a circular base. And these circular tops and base, they are actually of the same radius or diameter. So it is a solid that is having that particular shape. So this particular distance from the top to the bottom is actually referred as the height. And we have got the top here, which is circular, and we have got the bottom. The cylinder, in sometimes it can be open or it can be closed. A closed cylinder, it is the one that has got a top and bottom surfaces. But an open cylinder, it is a cylinder that has got only the bottom surface, but the top part is actually open. So the volume of a cylinder is normally given by base area, then you multiply by the height. Note the base area or the base in general, it is actually circular. Therefore, because it is circular, the area of a circular surface is given by pi r squared. Then we multiply by the height, which in most cases is going to be represented by h. So if you are given a cylinder like this, you are given a cylinder of that nature, and then you are told now, can you compute its volume if the radius of the top is 12 centimeter and the height is 21 centimeter. You are told that. Note the top and the bottom, they are having the same size. So this particular radius here, it is also 12 centimeter, this particular length here. Therefore, the volume would be the area of the base, which is 22 over 7 times 12 squared, which is pi r squared. Then we multiply by the h, which is actually 21. If you do that, you'll find that we are going to have 22 over 7 times 12 squared times 21. You find the answer is coming to 3027 and 1 over 7. 3027 and 1 over 7, and it should be in centimeters cubed. Always put the units of measurement in your answer. So basically, that is how we calculate it. But I want to say something here that anytime you are given a formula, it is not necessary that you have to calculate the volume each and every time. You can be given the volume and now you are asked to calculate, like for example, the height. You can be told that the volume is equals to maybe 946 centimeters cubed, and you are given the radius, maybe it is 6.5 centimeters. Then you are told, can you calculate the height? You need to come here and you say, first of all, that volume is equals to pi r squared h. Volume is given by pi r squared h. Then you do the necessary. You put the values that you have been given, and then you calculate what you have not been given. In this case, we are interested in determining the height because we don't know it. Therefore, put volume as 946 and say 946 should be equal to 22/7 times the radius, which is 6.5 squared, times h. Then you can be able to work out this part up to this point and say 946 is equals to, let us multiply 22/7 times 6.5 squared, 22/7 times 6.5, which is the same as 132.786 h. Therefore, 946/132.786 should give us the height. So 946 divided by answer, it gives us h is equals to 7.12 centimeters. That is how you can be asked in some cases. So you need to understand how you work out in each and every scenario. Thank you very much, and keep revising. Look for more questions that are asking on the same, and then you revise so that you can make your understanding better.